621 in the interest of JW, JW, GW, and RW for final trial.
Judge Lockwood, my advocate is in the waiting room.
Well, I don't, let me double check. Okay. They are still coming in. Okay, I believe I see the intervenor, Cynthia Bradley. Yes?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Wright. Okay, back to the mother, Carly Whiting, I believe. Is that Ms. Whiting on Zoom user?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. And what about Ryan Whiting?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you very much. I have all of the parties marked present, and counsel is here as well. Okay, I believe you all have, by and large, proven up the agreement in this case. My recollection is we were waiting for Ms. Bradley to complete PCA. I heard earlier that that target date is March the 1st. And Ms. Vinson, this is your case, correct? Okay, let me
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Let me get you to raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God, yes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Now, will, if you know, will the benefits be negotiated by March the 1st?
So what I've been instructed to do is as soon as March the 1st come, I have to go in and put in for the PCA and then notify that specialist that it's been completed, and she's going to get it scheduled as soon as she possibly can. And then from there, it shouldn't take too many more days after that. She said maybe 3 or 4 days.
Okay, but the requisite 6 months of placement beyond licensure, that will have occurred come March the 1st, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, as you all are probably aware, we commenced trial on the merits. Well, today would make 90 days ago. So I'm considering, by way of this hearing, any good cause to extend that pursuant to Texas Family Code 263.4011. Now, based on what the court knows and has heard so far, I am inclined to do that. I'm wondering if March the 15th, we have a short docket so far on March the 15th, that's a Wednesday afternoon. Is that too soon, Ms. Vinson, you think? Too optimistic?
No, sir. I do believe it should be done by then. I've been in contact with the specialist pretty often, and we originally thought that the date for 6 months would have been February the 2nd, but at that time we didn't have a resource ID number for Ms. Bradley, so we had to go reconduct placement, and that's what pushed us back a few weeks.
All right, very, very good. You get everybody lined up, and so you hope, you expect to be able to allow Ms. Bradley to receive PMC that day?
I'm pretty confident in the fact of me having that done on that day, and then also reaching out to the lady to let her know that it's been completed, and she's going to reach out to the negotiator to contact Ms. Bradley.
Okay, all right.
She understands that this is one of the cases that is pretty severe. We need it as soon as we can, so she's working with me.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Vinson related to PCA or any good cause to extend that 90 days under 2634011? Anyone?
No questions on that matter. I do have a brief question for recess on this case, though, Judge.
What was your question on the other matter, Mr. Mitchell?
I was just going to ask if the parents had had any drug testing done by the department since the date of the MSA.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they have, Judge, I just asked that the department be ordered to turn those over to my office just so I have copies for the file.
Okay, so the answer came yes as to whether or not they've been sent for tests since the MSA. So do you have any questions, Ms. McPherson, Ms. Lockwood, anyone, Ms.
Just
Walker?
that I would like a copy of them as well.
All right.
For the ad item to receive them as well, Mr. Keating.
All right.
Yeah. And I'd like to receive.
Okay.
Copy.
So Ms. Walker, is the department amenable to that? Any and all drug testing subsequent to the mediation or the MSA, whichever is later?
I don't think that's an issue. I think we've,
Do it anyway.
yeah.
All right. The court does hereby find good cause pursuant to Texas Family Code 263.4011 to extend that 90 days by which to render, having commenced the trial on the merits. The court hereby extends that an additional 45 days from today. All orders of the court shall remain in effect. Anything else on the Whiting matter?
Judge, is that going to be in court?
It is. Which courtroom, I don't know, but it will be in person or hybrid. Come March the 1st, I have to be in my county seats. All right. Okay. You all are excused. Thank you all very much.
I did look back through my emails and I did find an order, but I don't believe it's been circulated. So there is a final order.
That would be terminating the parents, naming the department PMC. And I believe mother's ground was 003, father's were DEN and O.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right, Ms. McPherson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. You seem to, Ms. McPherson, at the end of the trial, you made some overtures, I believe, about an appeal.
Yes, Your Honor, I have it prepared, but I don't have a final order of termination. But I have one prepared, Your Honor, for a notice of appeal.
Okay. And so are you also filing, because I think you kind of intonated that maybe you wanted me to consider appointing an attorney for the appeal?
Yes, Your Honor, absolutely.
All right. So once all of that is done, then the court would consider appointing Marva Provo to the appeal, if at all. So if you all sign the final order and just email it along with all of the orders, at least, all of the signatures, at least as to form. If you'll email that to Ms. Wallingford, then I will consider signing that. And if all of the other motions and proposed orders have everyone's signature, then maybe we can do it administratively like that, unless there's any objections.
Your Honor, the only question that I have is, it was my understanding by some of the conversations with the mom that that was something that she was leaning towards too. She did not come out and directly say that she wanted to appeal, but she cannot rely on the father's appeal for herself. So I didn't know if Mr. Ratcliffe had any update on that.
She called today.
Well,
and
don't,
said-
okay, just if she wants to appeal, then along with everything else we've talked about, then just file that notice of appeal and or motion for new trial or what have you. And I'll consider that as well. And any motion to withdraw and or appoint appellate counsel for the mother.
Okay. All right. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
But at this time with Miss Provo would be who you would recommend for and sign for motion substitute for Mr. Brown?
Quite possibly, certainly for one of the parents. I think we might be pretty much exhausted from having anyone from Jasper County to appoint.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So does that take care of number 3, Brown? So I'll keep a lookout for that. And so if we could maybe get all of these things to Ms. Wallingford on the same day, that might be good. All right. So you all are excused on the Brown matter. Thank you very much. So let's go to number 12. Right, for progress, calling cause number 3J and IJ for a progress. Is the mother Amanda Graham present? And Ms. Bytewood, who's standing in for Mr. Keating?
I represent the children in this case. I cannot.
Right. Okay. Is Amanda Graham?
I am.
Okay, yes, okay. All right, thank you. Have you marked present?
And I'm not sure, he was able to get in touch with me, but he had a little bit of an emergency. So I'm not sure if he was able to get a hold of anyone else.
He did call me.
We're talking about Mr. Keating?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, don't tell me what y'all talked about other than, are you prepared to go forward without him here?
He just stated to me that since he wasn't going to be present, that you guys would probably just do a continuance.
Okay, all right, well, we'll consider that. And let me call for Joseph Jones. All right, so Ms. Walker, let me know if there is something urgent that we need to address today while we're here. Otherwise, I'll reset this for Mr. Keating.
I believe that would be fine, but let me verify that with Miss Brister or Miss Vincent. I can't see everybody on my screen, so.
Okay, I'm looking to continue it, reset it to March. I show we have Mayfield on March the 2nd.
Your Honor, I will not be available at all on March 2nd, and the children have an opinion regarding these issues.
Okay, all right, stand by then. All we have that day, Ms. Bytewood, and your honor, is the Rhodes matter.
It shows that I'm with you all day long, though.
Right. Well, we need to get some more cases to make it worth it.
Well, yeah, 9 to 4 is blocked off on my calendar, and it says Judge Lockwood.
Well, 4 is kind of optimistic, isn't it? Well, we won't be having a jury trial that week, I don't believe. So 310 is 310, March 10, okay with everyone. 310. We're going to number 15 Davis right now. Okay. 4 in the interest of JPD for a progress. So Ms. Vinson, I think you had your hand raised earlier. If you don't mind, please, I'll get you sworn in. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes. Okay, thank you much. We'll get you on, Ms. Walker.
Essence Benson, and I'm the caseworker assigned to the case.
And Ms. Vincent, I believe we're here for progress, and there had been a change in, well, I guess so maybe a couple of changes in placement. Where are we now?
Just an update on Jack. He is currently placed at an RTC in West Texas. He's not very happy with the placement. He's not very happy with being out there. And he lets me know it all the time. I've talked to him about, his actions is what led him there, and there are consequences to his actions. But other than that, I know that if Jack were present today, I just want to put it on the record. He wants to have a conversation. He wants to be able to talk to his girlfriend. And so right now the department is currently working on getting her information so that I can do the necessary steps for him to talk to her. She is the one that he was sneaking in and out of the home at the time with his uncle.
Does he have a cell phone? How would those conversations be facilitated? Or
he does have a cell phone, but he gave it to me because they're not allowed to have those phones at the RTC. So she has to be added to his call list. Initially, whenever we placed Jack, we were under the impression that she was not allowed to be on his contact list, but after talking to placement, as a reward, they allowed him to talk to her.
okay. And how's his behavior's been since he's been there?
It has not been, he hasn't gotten into any trouble. He's just not liking the routine and the rules that are set forth there. He's counting down the days until he turns 18.
When does he turn 18 again?
July the 6th. And also I'm working on getting him Social Security once he is of age so that he can have some income.
Do you know what he plans to do when he turns 18?
I do. He plans on returning back to his hometown, well, the town with his aunt and uncle and his brother, JD. He plans on living in the RV that is out there in the yard for him, and I guess just winging it from there.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hollier.
Thank you, Your Honor. Essence, it's hard to have any sympathy for Jack because he got everything he wanted and just threw it all away, right?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
So what about school? You said he's not getting any behavioral trouble. Is he getting up, going to school and participating?
The school is actually on the campus, so he doesn't have a choice but to go. Now, as far as participating, I believe Jack should have his 30-day ARD coming soon. I don't recall exactly when it is, but I know that since he receives special education services, they have 30 days to get him an ARD schedule after he's been enrolled in school.
Okay, because he is behind and he will not graduate at 18. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. He will not graduate at the age of 18.
And I know I probably know the answer to this question, but have you talked to Jack about potentially staying in care after that date?
Yes, and he is adamant that he does not want to remain in care.
Okay. You said you were assisting him with getting Social Security. Is that something you're going to assist him with after his date of birth? I mean, he turns 18?
Well, as of yesterday, I received an email from one of our specialists, and she is supposed to be sending me some paperwork to fill out. I'm hopeful that I can get it done before he turns 18, and that way he don't really have much to worry about. He'll have some finances and stuff, and I'm going to work on getting him food stamps as well prior to his 18th birthday. I'm going to try to have him as set up as possible to the best of my ability, because I don't want Jack wandering in the streets. It's just what it boils down to.
And I know that you will, Essence. He's lucky to have you. Do you think that all the services and the records the department has obtained on Jack will assist you in getting the application ready for the Social Security request?
Yes, ma'am. They requested for his psychiatric notes, school notes, art notes, current psychological and current CANS assessments.
Okay. Have you
So I
talked
just have
to?
to send them.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
sorry.
cut you off. So you would just
I
have
just
to
have to send
submit that to
them.
them. Okay.
Sorry.
Have you talked to Jack about a potential person that could receive the Social Security funds so that he doesn't squander it? Like someone set up to help assist him with that?
No,
Or will
ma'am,
you
I
talk
have
to
not.
Jack about that?
I can. And just off the top of my head, trying to think of someone who would do right with that, I can't say.
I understand.
I don't know anyone who would do it.
The access to the girlfriend, it sounds like that. I know they were getting in trouble together, but he desperately does want that communication. Do you feel like the RTC is definitely going to allow it if it's appropriate and use it as a reward for him?
From my understanding with talking with Jack, that is the reason why he was allowed to call her in the first place. His case manager allowed him to do so because of his behavior. So I'm sure that they will. I don't know if it will cause an issue in the future, but I'm sure that they will allow him to.
But do you believe it'll be monitored enough to where they can't make any like secret plans to run away or anything?
Yes, ma'am, it should be.
Good. Okay, well, so I assume he's back on or continuing on all his psych meds and is seeing all the professionals he needs to see monthly in this placement.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to put on record, I believe that the week that Jack got there, they were, it was a hard freeze. And then I want to say they may have been on some sort of break. So he wasn't enrolled, he wasn't enrolled within 24 to 48 hours. It was a few days afterwards.
Were y'all able to have a circle of support? And did you discuss with Jack where his birth certificate, Social Security card, all that is, and how he can access it even after he turns 18?
He does know that he have all those credentials. Now there is something that I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to upload it into like a little wristlet USB thing for him, and that way he can take it to a computer or something and print out if he ever loses it.
New technology. That's awesome. All right, Essence,
Right.
Thank you for taking care of Jack and making sure he's okay. I'll pass the witness.
And Ms. Bythewood, you're here for Mr. Keating, yes?
I am, and I'm actually familiar with Jack, so that's okay.
I figured you might be, so you can share Ms. Hollier and Ms. Vinson's frustration. So, okay. Any witnesses, Ms. Hollier?
No, unless Mr. Keating has given Ms. Bythewood some direction on his recommendation to the court. But I know this is not what my client wants. He wants to be with his family, but I hope that he takes advantage of all the services while he's in there.
Yes, very good. Thank you. We do too. Ms. Bythewood, do you care to? You're gonna let him talk to his girlfriend?
It's normalcy, Your Honor, and it's also something that they can help if he's doing well. I mean, that's what he wants to do. He's 17 years old, and the worst thing he's doing is sneaking out with his girlfriend at night. That's a good day with what our kids are doing. But yeah, and he's out in West Texas, so even if they make plans, I don't see them carrying out very well because there's just tumbleweeds and rattlesnakes out there. But I am channeling Mr. Keating right now, and I think Mr. Keating would be okay with the girlfriend.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anyone else? You know, we're going to get to see him a couple of weeks before his big birthday. Our next hearing is June the 21st, at 9. So, okay, anything else from anyone else? Okay, I thank you all for all of your very hard work, and hopefully one day Jack will be able to do the same. The court is going to approve and allow appropriate phone calls with the girlfriend, provided they are monitored, and so long as he's, let me just say, so long as he's on level, and leave it to the RTC and along with advice from you all on what that looks like or what that might mean. Okay, department continued as PMC. Current placement is approved to continue. So, all right. So again, thank you all. Thank you all very much.